Good morning, it's Lamb Basher Blaster Master here with the latest top 7 things that you've never heard that'll make the old man that lives on the corner that's blind with the dog squeal with excitement. Stay tuned, watch, bye. All right, everybody, we're going to talk about the war on data. It's a war on data out there. Your data's up for sale everywhere. It's become, quote unquote, the new lifeblood of capitalism in corporate America. Guys, data is the new currency, and there are some different countries out there trying to control it in different ways. This article here, if you guys have seen it on The Guardian, is missing the point in a few different areas, and it sort of praises countries like China, who have kind of blocked off the internet and insulated their country and insulated their citizens and insulated their companies from the outside influences of major corporations like Google and that sort of thing. They're basically saying that, hey, our data stays in our country and your data can stay in your country, and that's going to enable our businesses to grow and flourish without the influence or the reach of Google coming over here and taking over. China, yes, they may have helped their businesses grow, but the Chinese people are very proud. And companies like Baidu, which is like essentially the Google of China, they also have some really impressive artificial intelligence. I don't think the Chinese people would have sat back and said, yeah, it's cool, we'll just let Google take over the entire market. They won't sit back and do that. Just like they didn't allow Apple to permanently take over the smartphone market. Now you've got Xiaomi and Huawei and all these other companies showing up and being like, no, of course not. We're huge. A company like Baidu, what could have happened if China wasn't fully insulating everything, they could have expanded to the Asian markets, the European markets, and also the USA. And their algorithms and their artificial intelligence are about as good as Google, and some people would argue that their artificial intelligence is better than Google's artificial intelligence. So I don't think the article hits it on the head right there, because what we would have would be more companies like Amazon and Google and Facebook out there peddling data across borders. But is the answer to say, okay, listen, in the USA, from now on, if you're an American company, well, and you have, data on American citizens, you can't just send that data anywhere in the world. It has to stay in America. Is that the answer? I don't think it is. Let's keep talking about this for just a second. Here on CNBC, there's an article up, and it says that Google and Facebook are watching our every move online, and they just basically talk about how, 76% of their websites out there have a Google tracking code in them, so Google knows everywhere you're going. Everything you click on, pretty much. 24% of the websites have hidden Facebook stuff, and 12% have Twitter stuff on them. So these companies, whether they're making money every second or not, they are, but they are really just tracking everything you do to provide, I guess, other companies and marketing companies a perfect little picture of what you are. Now, here is the real issue. And let's get to the deeper heart of the thing, like we used to do back in the days of the tech and all that stuff. We're going to talk seriously for just a second about this, because right now we have the most divided world, maybe not of all time, but like the most divided country we've ever had since the Civil War. And one of the big reasons is because these companies have come in and they've created algorithms that have put everyone into these little information bubbles, because they say, oh, you like these things? Well, we're going to keep giving you the same things that you like. And then, oh, we've also noticed that you like guns, so we're going to send you some other Republican stuff. And we've noticed that you like kittens, so you're going to get a bunch of liberal stuff. I don't know how they figure it out. They basically create these information vacuums or bubbles where you live with just you and your friends, and you confirm things, and you confirm things, and you confirm things, and then you start to go really in this hard direction. And when you hear an opposing opinion, it's earth-shattering to you, because you don't even know it exists in the world. It's somewhere else. You're not exposed to these things. And when you're not exposed to things, your mind can't think about those things. Your mind can't go in that direction, and you can't be a balanced human. So a lot of the divisive nonsense that's going on is a direct product of companies like Google and Facebook trying to essentially figure out who you are and then cater to who you are. They've pushed people down these paths until they're so far away that they really have nothing in common anymore, and all they can do is sling insults. And that's the other thing about the internet. They've also sort of turned us into these, I guess, faceless entities where all we do is yell and scream and insult each other. This is all a product of what we've allowed to happen. Now, what can we do about this? Well, first off, we've got to get away from the trackers. We've got to stop using Google for every search result, because when you type something into Google, well, it comes right back and says, here's what you want to see, right? It doesn't actually show you real research. You need to be using a service like DuckDuckGo. If you want to get away from all the ads and trackers, well, we made the AdGuard video the other day. It was a sponsor, but they're not sponsoring this post at all because I believe in their software. You can install that, and it will help get rid of some of those trackers and some of those ads. There's also something else you can do. There's a new browser out called Brave. Now, I highly recommend going and checking out what they have here. We're using Brave right now to do this video. So the Brave browser is a new browser that gets rid of all that junk, the trackers, the bloatware, the malware, and all the ads on all the websites. It gets rid of all that because the internet has turned into like 50 or 60% all that crap, and all your content gets squished and your data gets, your data goes way up. You're not going to have any of that stuff. And one thing that's really interesting, they have a new model that will help, I guess, content creators like us monetize our platforms. And it's done through microtransactions from people coming to the website using cryptocurrency. It's a really interesting idea, and Brave is freaking fast. It's probably faster than the new Firefox. I've been using it for a few days, and it's really nice. So check it out. Moving right along here, San Francisco also has a very interesting idea. They want universal broadband, and here's what they're going to do. They're looking for a company that can roll broadband out everywhere, just fiber all over the place. They want fiber to the door, all the way to the door. And then what they're going to do is they're going to let all the different companies use that fiber and sell service. So a bunch of different companies using the same fiber. So how interesting of an idea is that, to have the infrastructure laid and then let you pick your provider? On top of that, it's going to be an opt-in as far as data collection goes on your private information. So users will have to actually go and opt in and say, yeah, I want Google and these guys to know everything about me. I'm sure it'll be a pretty easy opt-in process if you buy like an Amazon Alexa or some shit like that, where they're just going to be like, click here to use your Alexa. By the way, you're agreeing to give us all your personal data. I gotta get this rhinoceros out of my throat. So good on you, San Francisco. All right, Uber. They want to make self-driving cars illegal in metropolitan areas. You heard about this? So Uber, I mean, they're together with like Zipcar, and even Lyft is on board with this. But they're saying like, listen, in the future, we want things to be streamlined and easy for people. And if we have so many people owning their own cars, doing whatever the hell they want, it's just going to be confusing and awful for cities. So we want a mandated, no people can own cars in cities and no people can drive their cars in cities. When they get inside the cities, they have to use Uber or Lyft or whatever. And hey, we'll save them money, So that's what they want. That's going to be difficult for people, especially someone who wants to like own their car and be like, yeah, throw all my stuff in the back seat. And I'm always, imagine someone who's like always on the go for whatever job they have, and they want to sit in the back seat and use their laptop, and they just keep all their stuff. It becomes like their little mobile office. That's where I'm seeing like the future of self-driving cars, is it becomes like a mobile office, especially as the price of energy goes down and we move towards solar and get rid of coal, like clean coal. Fuck you, Trump. Amazon has patented wristbands to track the warehouse employees in real time. What? All right, so here's what Amazon has been doing. They are timing their employees, their warehouse employees, when they go to the bathroom. They have a timer. Sorry, you got dysentery? Not going to work out. They fire people who call in sick too often. Even if you have sick days, I've heard of several different instances personally where they fired people for being sick, even if they have sick days. Just, you're sick too often, I'm sorry. So the guy here, he gets sick, but he comes to work. He spreads it around, but everyone else keeps coming to work, and that's what we want. They time you on how many boxes you pick and throw into the truck every hour and all that kind of stuff. And now they've got these wristbands that they say are going to be like totally cool and normal. But what they're really going to be doing is they're going to be monitoring where your hands are and how fast your hands are moving. And if you reach for the wrong box, they're going to give you some haptic feedback, a little gyration, and be like, no, you got the wrong thing. Now that's just the beginning. They're going to make you wear these bracelets at home so they can track what you're doing at home. They want to know everything about you. And here's another really interesting thing. Amazon will give you free Prime in the future if you start wearing these devices so they can figure out what you're doing all day long. They're also going to have a microphone and a camera installed. Yeah, your data is going to become your new currency, just like we talked about. Isn't that a wonderful thing? So you'll be able to buy these these bracelets, they're going to be stylish. Maybe they'll say like the name of your favorite sports person, or the name of your favorite cause, or the name of your favorite, I don't know, trendy person who got a disease, and now you're going to put their name on your thing to be in solidarity. You can be in solidarity with your favorite, whoever gives a We used to be afraid of wiretaps, and now we wear them around as fashion accessories, and that's what the future's going to be. That's enough of this. Just a quick one. But it's real. Shut. Good morning.
How's it going?
Well-ish.
Thought I'd come on and do part of the show too.
So if you guys haven't seen it yet, we did the the best new RPGs that are out right now. Most of those are like the best of 2017, but it's February, so they're the best new RPGs. Go check it out over in Beer Games Beer and play some tabletop. It's microtransaction stuff, right? It's making their profits go up.
Mm-hmm. But EA is still complaining about stuff. They,
of course.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone's just a big complaining circle with EA and all the fans and people who keep buying their games. 9 million copies of Battlefield sold or something like that.
Yeah, but unfortunately it sold 1 million less copies than they projected, so they're kind of butthurt about that. This is a weird collection of articles, because one set of articles is like, EA really upset about their low sales and stuff like that, and then there's another article that's like, well, the CEO of EA was like, yeah, we did really great despite all this other stuff, and if you look at how much we put out on the market and everything, we did really well. And their projected sales are up and stuff, but they're still complaining, and they know everyone's upset about the loot boxes and stuff, and yet they are going to be bringing the loot boxes back.
Well, here's the thing.
To Battlefront 2.
Here's the thing. Their stock is at an all-time high right after they announced that the loot boxes are going to be coming back, because here's the deal. FIFA, right? So FIFA's a different audience than Battlefield, and they have microtransactions in FIFA. I don't think FIFA, the FIFA audience, correct me if I'm wrong, guys out there, if you're a FIFA player, but I don't think that they're like the type who sit on the internet all day and refresh pages and look at Reddit and share memes of, like, you know, Darth Vader's helmet with the EA logo on it and stuff like that.
Maybe they do.
I think they're just sitting around playing their consoles, playing their games, being like, hey, what's up, bro? You want to play some FIFA? Oh, I'm going to buy these new shoes for $5. Cool, I bought them. And they just do it.
You've been given a yellow card. Pay $1.99 to remove it.
Hey!
You're welcome, EA.
Cha-ching!
Yep.
So what's happened is the FIFA game made a ton in microtransactions, and then the investors are like, okay. And then the stock people are like, neat. And then they're like, well, now that we have, we pretended to be good and removed the microtransactions from Battlefront 2, and 9 million people bought it, we've got this huge base that are ripe and ready for microtransactions. You guys fell for it if you bought it, you idiots. I'm sorry, you are.
I seem to recall a crypt show that we did like right before Christmas, maybe in like November or something, when we said when they benevolently took away all of the microtransactions from everybody and stuff, and we're like, don't worry, we won't ever do this to you again and stuff. They very nicely took that away from everything, and I'm pretty sure that in that video we said, hey guys, just watch, after the holidays, all these loot boxes and stuff are going to be coming back again. And lo and behold.
Yep. And it's, like I said, it's talking at an all-time high because everybody already has this game and they're already hooked on it. So they're not going to want to stop playing, but all of a sudden they're going to be hit by paywalls, and they're going to have like all these new cool things, and then EA's probably going to start rolling out some of their other...
Darth Vader?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so Nvidia, this is going to be a quick mention because Nvidia has decided that they're going to start using data centers to process gaming and then allow you to play really high-powered games on low-powered hardware like an Apple computer. Or you could use like a really small thin client. As long as it's an i3 or better with 4 gigabytes of RAM or better, you can play new games like The Witcher on high settings, PUBG on ultra, and that sort of thing. All streaming to your device as long as your internet connection is 25 megabits per second or greater. 50 megabits per second is recommended. They say there's almost no latency. Some people have been trying this out. They're using servers.
The FCC says we only need 10, though.
So those people who are getting this internet are not going to be able to do this very well. My question is, how crazy are these data centers going to need to be, number one? Number two, what if 1 million people jump on at the same time? Is Nvidia going to have 1 million GPUs ready for this? Who knows? And the third thing is, how frustrated are people going to be? Because in order to play the game, every time you log on, it opens up like a new instance, and you have to install the games each time. Like I said, PUBG takes a few minutes to install. The Witcher takes 8 or 9 minutes. So you have to sit there and wait. Like, okay, click, and then every single time you log on, you have to do this. So is that? I mean, do people want this? People have tried this before in the past. Different companies have come and gone, but Is this something people want?
You ever get hit with gaming indecision? Like when you sit down and you look at your Steam library and
Right.
you're like, maybe I want to play this, and you load that up for like 2 minutes and then you start playing it and you're like, no, this isn't what I wanted. And then you go through and you launch like 5 or 6 different games and stuff, and then
No more of that. Yeah, that'll take forever.
that will just become the most torturous thing. This will become the worst thing that's ever happened to anyone ever.
To be fair, you're not downloading it to your own computer. You're downloading it to their data center on that instance of the OS.
Yeah.
You know, so you'll still have like your Steam desktop and all that stuff, and they've got a massive pipe. But if there's a lot of people using that pipe, it's like the amount of overhead needed for something like this, I've always felt is implausible, but I do want to try it out before I like make a final verdict on it, because this is Nvidia doing it, not some strange company who has a Kickstarter up or whatever. What?
Okay,
Hell?
so Monopoly and Parker Brothers are releasing an even worse version of Monopoly than Monopoly, which already exists. So Monopoly has become like one of the biggest cash cow board games of all time because they make every edition of Monopoly ever, like Fallout Monopoly and My Little Pony Monopoly and Ninja Turtles Monopoly and Bull Monopoly and so on and so forth.
I don't think they ever made a Toe Jam and Earl Monopoly.
Oh, no, that'd be great.
That's sad.
Funkotron Monopoly. So, one of the things that they found is that the majority of people that play the incredibly terrible game Monopoly,
Incredibly over. Yeah, I don't like it, but
okay, so the original design of the game was meant to show how Wall Street doesn't work and like how the economy. That was the whole point of it. But anyways, so they found out that like a huge percentage of the people playing Monopoly cheat while they're playing it because terrible, so you gotta cheat at it. But so they've now releasing a new version of Monopoly, which is Monopoly Cheaters Edition, which actually has stuff built into it, including cheat cards in the middle and other things that you can do to try to get away with cheating during the game. So the whole point of the game is to actually play, but be constantly vigilant and suspicious of everybody else at the table, worrying about whether or not they're cheating to try to get ahead. And what's more, they have a handcuff actually built into the board so that when you catch somebody cheating, you handcuff them to the board. Monopoly has caused the end of families, has caused the end of friendships, has caused the end of marriages. Like, this has caused all these things in the past. This version of Monopoly is going to be the first time that someone is actually murdered over Monopoly.
because what's going to happen is the guy's going to get accused, he's going to get handcuffed, they're going to argue, and then he's going to throw his hands in the air and be like, what the fuck, man, or whatever, and then the board's going to go flying, everyone's going to be like, what? And then they're going to come over the table, and they're going to be knives and guns and
turn
bombs.
into a shootout.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, but that's gonna, like, people are just gonna be dicks to each other and be like, oh, I think you're cheating. Why are we playing Monopoly? But don't buy this version of Monopoly or any version of Monopoly. There's 1,000 billion better board games out there. And that's a real number.
Oh, I've got a message for Micro Center.
What's that?
See if I can get this cranked up here.
Oh, that's weird, because I also got this message from Micro Center.
Micro Center.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
We must shop at the same place. Micro Center decided to be really great guys, and they will sell you a graphics card at MSRP if it's for gaming instead of mining. So the actual process is you have to go in and you have to get okayed by like a supervisor at the store, and then they will sell it to you for MSRP if you also buy the motherboard, the graphics card, the power supply, and everything else at Micro Center as well. Then they'll be like, sure, if you buy all these other things, we'll give this to you for MSRP.
I mean, what if I came in there and tricked them and then bought a bunch of stuff? Here's the weird thing for me is they're not going to stop selling the GPUs at really high prices to the miners. So they sat back in the boardroom and they're like, ugh, we got to have all the money. And then someone's like, well, can we just like do something where we make someone log in, and if they've got more than 50 games on Steam, that proves they're a gamer? I don't know. And they're like, oh, that's a dumb idea. That's going to make people who don't have a lot of money. And then they argued. And finally someone's like, well, if we force them to buy tons more stuff, then we could still make money. Will that be okay? And they're like, yeah. Micro Center, come on.
They're not helping anyone except Micro Center. This is just stupid. This is just rude to the consumer.
The real solution here, Nvidia and AMD, is if you force these guys to sell the stuff at MSRP and force them to sell only 4 per customer. Just force them to do that. Oh, everyone's making too much money though. That's pretty much it for the day, right? I think so, yeah.
EA's butthurt, so.
Guys, 3360 sensor. Grab one of these guys. Really comfortable. I got 7 headshots yesterday in the same game. The guys are wearing helmets though, and I had an M416, so it only knocked their helmets off, but I killed 3 of them.
It was the most epic Gone Home session ever.
Yeah, very good. I'm very good at Gone Home with this mouse.
Yeah.
So check that out, guys. We got a new store coming soon. We're going to be taking cryptocurrency. I got 4 or 5 of them to start, but we're also going to be taking PayPal and all kinds of other things. So check pretty soon for the new store.
Get shirts.
Yep, grab some shirts.
Get yourself
all the different varieties. All right, guys. See you in the comments on the website, and we'll see you guys on DTube as well. Later.
Bye.
I need a cigarette right now. Anybody got a cigarette? Ugh.